So pre-lab and lab are both due tonight at 11:59. Next week, lab is going to be due before class starts. So like just for this week only, pre-lab and lab are due at 11:59. Next week, pre-lab needs to be done prior to class. It will be due at 3:29. You guys will submit it through Canvas. Everybody know where to find that pre-lab document? Okay, cool. Quiz. Today we have a quiz, but I will not be monitoring this quiz. You guys are going to take it on your own. Next week, we will have a quiz, and you guys need to have Zoom on your phone. And then you're going to use Zoom on your phone as a camera. And then you just put it to the side. And I want to see your keyboard, your side of your face, and part of your laptop screen. And that's how we will be taking the quiz next week. But this week, I will not be monitoring. I just trust that y'all will be good students and not cheat. I know some of y'all will, but I won't know. Anyway, so for today's lab, we're doing recrystallization. Today, we're looking at the product when an antacid is added to water. When you watch the video, you can see that some of the undissolved product at the bottom of the Erlenmeyer flask, that is what we're looking for. In the real lab, you would extract the solid material and perform an analysis on it, calculate the yield, all that fun stuff. But as far as hazards go for this experiment, you guys don't want any of this on your skin. It will be agitating. If you get it on your skin, you want to go to the hand wash station. If you get it anywhere above being able to wash in the hand wash station, you need to take a shower for about 20 minutes. Everyone will probably watch you, but if you get in your eyes, it is toxic to your eyes. You need to flush your eyes out for 20 minutes. If you inhale it and you feel loopy, you would need to tell me or the IA in charge, and we will call an ambulance for you. So do wear your goggles, do not let this touch your skin, and do not inhale it directly. So some background about this experiment in organic chemistry is because you guys are going to be doing a lot of recrystallization with different organic compounds, and you guys are going to see how that reacts. It plays out in the real world, like the one we're doing today. This is how you make pain reducers. So in a way, kind of like Advil and ibuprofen is what you're learning, but it's not exactly Advil or ibuprofen. That was just an example. About the procedure. So when you guys watch the video, we begin by just adding 15 grams of simulated antacid analgesic mixture into a graduated cylinder. I think in the video it says you do about 5 grams of it into water, and then you use boiling chips in order to dissolve it. Does everyone know what boiling chips are? So I'm gonna use this as an example because it'll make the most sense. So when you have a Coke bottle and you shake it up, it gets all foamy and fizzy at the top. If you open up the cap and it's still fizzy, if you take a couple boiling chips, it'll settle the water down. Not the water, the Coke down, and it'll be less fizzy and it'll start to become more flat. It wouldn't work with Coke, but that's just an example, if you know what I mean. The next step, as when you see in the video, is that they're going to heat the reaction to the boiling point in order to dissolve the solution. But you wouldn't want to heat it up for too long, otherwise you would break the organic bonds, and that's not what you want because you want to have a crystallized product. Then this is where the data sheet comes out. Did y'all see Dr. Irvin's email about your products? He sent out an email about the grams that you guys are going to be using. No, not using, that you're going to come out with as one of your products. I believe it was 0.54, and the melting point is between negative 110 or 130. It's one of those. If y'all see it in your email, if you don't have that email, just send me an email and I'll forward that to you.
So the mass, sorry, just to make sure I have this right in my data sheet, the mass is the mass of crystals isolated after the drying, or is it the mass of antacid used?
So used is 5 grams, and then after drying is
Okay.
did I say 0.58?
You said like 0.54.
0.54, yeah,
Close.
0.54. Um, the data sheet should be pretty straightforward. And I would recommend that you guys look through the procedure while you're watching the videos so you can follow along, and that will definitely make your it wouldn't make your questions easy, but it'll make your data sheet make more sense. I am going to be looking at the data sheet, and you need to have the correct values because that's the only way I'll know that you watched both of the videos. Um, but other than that, you guys need to have the post lab done by today. It's just the questions at the last page of the lab manual, the pre-lab done, and the data sheet. For the post lab, I expect you all to write about roughly 3 sentences per question. And for the data sheet, show your work because um, this is a pretty small class, and I think y'all could definitely work together through it. So please show your work. I'm not promoting y'all to work together, like do not work together, but I'm a college student. I know how things work. Um, does
Will you be
anybody?
posting, sorry, I'm just trying to like get everything clarified. Will you be posting the videos like on the Canvas site, or are you going to be emailing them?
So the videos are already posted. They're on Dr. Irvin's YouTube channel that was given out. It's, I believe, the link for it's on the syllabus, but if you guys cannot find it, I'm gonna send the link in the chat real quick.
Sorry, there was just some confusion. I guess his email just kind of like was a little confusing to me, I guess, when I was reading it. Like nothing was really like laid out, I guess, so I didn't really know like where that was. But thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. Right, Gavin just put the melting point and the mass of your product. You guys should probably write that down because that'll be in your final conclusion for the lab. Um, does anybody have any questions?
I have a quick question. What is that the mass of really quick? Is that just the mass of the antacid?
The one that's in the chat is going to be the mass for your product, but the mass that's in the chat is going to be your product. You're initially, if you watch the video, you're initially starting with 5 grams of antacid. Yes, that's it. That's all I was going to say. For some reason, it's not letting me copy the link onto the Zoom chat. But Avery just said, no, not Avery. Jade said that the videos are linked on the main Canvas page under full videos. So if you guys have trouble finding that, just let me know and I'll email you the link.
Could
yeah.
I get the link because I've been dropped by the school. I can't access that Canvas page anymore.
Right. So right now you guys should take the lab quiz. It's due before lab ends, which is I think 6 o'clock, and have the pre-lab, post-lab, and data sheet done by today, 11:59.
Is it cool to just incorporate the data sheet, I guess, with the post lab questions like under the same
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
The post-lab and the data sheet have to go in together.
Got you. Sounds good. Thank you.
You guys can submit it as a PDF and or a Word document. It's just images don't load on Canvas, so if you want to convert it to an image, what I suggest you do is like take a picture of it, you email it to yourself, and then you print the image as a PDF and submit it as a PDF.
Can we type the answers like on a Word document or like a PDF and just send it to you, or do we have to type the questions also with the answers?
So as long as it is clear to follow, you can just type the answers. But if it's not clear to follow, you will lose points for it. But you can definitely type it up. That's okay.
Okay, and can we take a picture of it, like make it as a PDF or JPEG, or no?
Yeah, you can do that. That works.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I have a question. I'm guessing, so the part on our lab, the handout or whatever, is the questions the post lab, and then at the very end of the chapter, or at the very end of the lab, there's the pre-laboratory assignment. I'm guessing that's the pre-lab, obviously. And you want us to submit the questions with the data sheet all together, correct?
So yeah, so post lab is going to be from page 31 to page 34. That's your post lab. So data and those questions at the end of the lab sheet, and then from 35 down is going to be your pre-lab assignment, and that's gonna be a separate assignment on Canvas for you to turn in.
Okay. I have a question on the post lab. So for question 4, it gives us the 10-gram sample, and then I'm guessing. So I got question A, but then do I assume that we're still using the 182 milliliters from question A to answer question B? So it asks so question A is how much boiling water is necessary to dissolve the acetonilide. I don't know how to say it. And then, so I got that. And then the following question is, based on that, how much of the 10 grams would be left? Do I assume I assume that I'm using 182 milliliters of water, correct?
Still, yes. Like in the question, it didn't say otherwise, so I'm not sure if why would you use another quantity of
Yeah.
water. But so
I was thinking of just using 100 milliliters and subtracting it from the 10. So like, for example, if I added the 10 milligrams to 100, the 100 milliliters, and then I subtracted that, technically I would just be what I would be left with would be 9.4 something grams. Oh no, I would be left with just a 0.53. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you're kind of throwing answers in the.
No, sorry.
It's okay. It's lab 1. But yes.
Do you want me to email you?
Yeah, you can email me about that.
I don't know.
So in lab, for question 4, when you're in the lab and you're trying to dissolve the solution, sometimes you would end up adding more solute to the experiment, and that impacts your yield significantly because it's really hard to tell how much more you would need to dissolve the solution. But in our case, this is all fixed numbers, so you wouldn't have to worry about those extra calculations.
All right, man. Besides that, I think you know what? I'll just email you because it's about the quiz.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll email it to you. Thank you.
So I'm not going to be staying on